Think you know the world around you? Welcome to Quizpire, your ultimate quiz zone. From general knowledge to relationship quizzes, sports trivia, and entertainment, today we're testing your brain with 30 out-of-the-box questions. Can you score 30 out of 30? Let's go. Question 1. Which fruit was once considered poisonous in Europe? Answer: tomato. Fun fact, Europeans feared it because it belongs to the nightshade family. Question 2. What is the only mammal capable of true flight? Answer: bat. Fun fact, all other flying mammals only glide. Question 3. Which country has a museum dedicated entirely to failed inventions? Answer: Sweden. Fun fact, the Museum of Failure showcases global commercial flops. Question 4. What was the original color of Coca-Cola? Answer: green. Fun fact, caramel coloring was added later. Question 5. Which planet rains diamonds? Answer: Saturn. Fun fact, pressure in its atmosphere may turn carbon into diamonds. Question 6. What is the Japanese art of folding paper into shapes called? Answer: origami. Fun fact, some designs require hundreds of folds. Question 7. Which famous inventor was afraid of the dark? Answer: Thomas Edison. Fun fact, ironic considering he pioneered electric lighting. Question 8. What is the largest living structure visible from space? Answer: the Great Barrier Reef. Fun fact, it stretches over 2,300 kilometers. Question 9. Which creature can survive being frozen and come back to life? Answer: tardigrade. Fun fact, it can even survive outer space. Question 10. Which book was written using a typewriter submerged in water? Answer: waterlog. Fun fact, the author waterproofed the machine for the experiment. Halfway point. If you're enjoying this, hit like, subscribe, and share. Let's keep going. Question 11. What common beverage was once banned in the Soviet Union? Answer: coffee. Fun fact, it was believed to reduce worker productivity. Question 12. Which city has a street perfectly straight for over 60 kilometers? Answer: Adelaide. Fun fact, Port Wakefield Road holds the record. Question 13. What is the only food that doesn't spoil? Answer: honey. Fun fact, edible honey has been found in ancient tombs. Question 14. Which animal has fingerprints almost identical to humans? Answer: koala. Fun fact, their prints can confuse investigators. Question 15. Which country consumes the most chocolate per capita? Answer: Switzerland. Fun fact, around 12 kilograms per person annually. Question 16. Which famous artist used coffee as a painting medium? Andy Warhol. Yes, Warhol experimented with coffee and other unconventional materials in his pop art. Question 17. What is the name of the invisible line separating day and night on Earth? The Terminator line. It's literally where sunlight meets shadow on the planet's surface. Question 18. Which everyday item was originally invented for a completely different purpose? bubble wrap. It was first designed as decorative wallpaper, not packaging. Question 19. Which planet spins backward compared to most others? Venus. It rotates east to west, opposite of Earth. Question 20. What color is a lobster's blood when it's alive? Blue. It contains copper, not iron, which gives it that color. If you're still crushing this quiz, hit like, subscribe, and share this with someone who thinks they're smarter than you. Question 21. Which ancient civilization invented both the umbrella and toothpaste? The Egyptians. Their toothpaste included powdered ox hooves and ashes. Question 22. Which mythical creature was believed to have a horn that neutralized poison? The unicorn. In medieval Europe, unicorn horns were prized as antidotes. Question 23. What is the fastest growing plant in the world? Bamboo. Some species grow up to 3 feet in a single day. Question 24. Which country has a national holiday dedicated to cats? Turkey. February 22nd is officially Cat Day there. Question 25. What common item was once more valuable than gold? Salt. Roman soldiers were paid in it. That's where the word salary comes from. Question 26. Which human sense develops first in the womb? Touch. Fetuses respond to tactile stimuli as early as 8 weeks. Question 27. Which famous landmark was almost demolished but saved by public outcry? The Eiffel Tower. It was originally meant to stand for just 20 years. Question 28. What fruit has its seeds on the outside? Strawberry. Those tiny dots are called achenes, and each one contains a real seed. Question 29. Which ocean is shrinking rather than expanding? The Atlantic Ocean. Plate tectonics are slowly closing it over millions of years. Question 30. What common insect can survive decapitation for several days? The cockroach. Its nervous system allows it to function without a head for days. Final score. How many did you get right? Part 2 gets even harder. Stay sharp, stay curious. This is Quizpire.